buddy. Okay, let me see where I'm at. Okay. We have a few because when he's in here till 8 o'clock, I have a recorded intro, like a long
Got
one,
it.
because I can't do it.
Right.
I can't. It's too much stress for me.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's too much stress. I can't have the stress. I prefer to read it.
Yeah.
And I probably could do it, but I just rather relax.
Yeah.
Takes the edge off.
Yes.
Dr. Kathy's here tonight. Woo! I never had a doctor that looked that good. I don't know about you. I'd like to get. I want. Yes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Not on the radio, but on the.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how all this stuff.
Just Steph. Here we go. Ooh, girl, you shining like a Fifth Avenue diamond. They don't make you like they used to. You're never going out of style. Just Steph show. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't care if you're watching the Bruins. Put on the radio.
That's right. The game is going.
I know. It's a big deal. Everybody loves the Bruins.
They can record that.
Yeah.
I have one. I have a couple of these.
That's from Fatima.
Fatima? Have you been?
My girlfriend went. She brought him.
Awesome.
Second lifers. Oh, hi, Maria. Maria. Kefai. Oh, I love you more.
I just said that to her. She's like, I love you. I'm like, I love you more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
tonight, you hear the words that you need to hear to live your best purpose-driven life.
All righty. And it is Marathon Monday. And, we're just going to kind of remember, it's all the people that were lost in the marathon bombings. It's terrible. You can't really go the day without thinking about that. So, and we're going to offer up the healing prayer for all those families who lost people. So I'm here tonight with Dr. Kathy is back in the studio. Yay!
Thanks for having me.
Yay! So
That was great.
I'm gonna read your stuff now so that we get it, so everyone knows who you are already.
Okay.
I know, but I think that you're like the most popular guest that comes on. Everyone loves you.
Thank you.
But everyone loves all my guests because they're fabulous. But really, you're special.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody, I don't. You know what? I can't help it. I love my peeps. I do. So, okay, what was that? Dr. Katherina Calvillo is a fellowship-trained and board-certified breast cancer surgeon in Boston. She completed her undergraduate degree magna cum laude from the University of Michigan and acquired her medical degree from Wayne State University School of Medicine. She completed a residency in general surgery from Northwestern Memorial Hospital, followed by a breast surgery fellowship from Harvard Medical School Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Massachusetts General Hospital, and Brigham and Women's Hospital. She was a breast cancer surgeon at Brigham and Women's Hospital, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, and Harvard Medical School for nearly 20 years prior to founding New England Breast and Wellness. Her emphasis includes hidden scar surgery for benign and malignant breast disease, breast conservation surgery, lumpectomy, using oncoplastic, which is reconstructive techniques, nipple sparing mastectomy, and it's all this mastectomy words. It's a lot. Well, yes, all of that and more. But the best is she is the official breast surgeon of the Just Steph show. So that's the best. Yes. And so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's always fun.
I know, so fun. So we're gonna just get we're gonna talk more about genetic testing and your work in a little bit, but you're gonna help me in this show. So we're gonna pick
I get to pick a card.
Yes, pick a grace card.
All right.
Oh,
I like that one.
Well, you read it and
pray. I am open and receptive to the power of grace in my life now. I ask to be shown clear examples of how this energy is operating in my life. Amen.
That's great.
Love it.
Yes. And you know what? It kind of goes along with everything that's happening tonight on the Just Steph show. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I wanted to talk just a few opening remarks about, I think sometimes, and this happens a lot in Boston, and I love Boston so much. This is why I came back after 27 years in Atlanta. But, you know, Boston people have this mentality that they're not worth it, and that their time is not worth anything. So, and what I'm trying to get at is that why don't people ask for help? Why don't people reach out, even if it's therapy with the copay? You know, they don't want to. They know I'm just going to do it on my own, and they don't seek help. You know, oh, forget it. I'll just, you know, be a slave to my house, but I can afford this. But I'm going to just be a slave to my house because why would I pay somebody else to do it? Well, you know, in my mind, time is money. If you can assign a dollar amount, because there are people, I had friends in Atlanta, they owned CompuCredit, huge credit card. Yes, credit card, you know, it was public and everything. You know, they had he had an airplane, his own airplane. And he said to me, he goes, my time is money. I can't be spending that. My time is worth so much money that I can't waste time going through an airport. It's less money for me to take my own plane and go somewhere, because he drives right up, gets on, go, and you know, and then that
was value for him.
It was value for him,
Wish
and
we could all do that.
right. Well, that's an extreme case,
Yes.
but I think people can't relate until they hear extreme cases. So, what is your time worth? Because even if you're taking a nap, that is valuable time, because it refreshes you so that you have more to give the people in your life, your job, your home, you have, you feel better, you have more clarity, your mind is clear. Everything that you do is worth something.
I did a post actually about that a few weeks ago, about like, what are you going to do for yourself today?
Right.
That is self-care.
Right.
Reading a book, taking a walk, calling a friend, family, whatever that is. I feel like we're all so busy that we don't stop, and even if it's 15 minutes, like, do something for yourself to take care of yourself. And I think, you know, at least for the patients who come to see me, they really value their health and well-being and whatnot, but you have to invest in yourself,
right?
Whether it's time, whether it's money, but really taking care of yourself. And it goes back to that whole airplane, putting on your oxygen mask first.
Right, that's right.
We're parents, we're spouses, whatever it is. But if we can't take care of ourselves first, we can't take care of our loved ones.
Right. Well, and I went from a 14,000 square foot house when I was married to a 2,800 square foot townhouse to a less than 1,200 square foot condo. I don't have to do a thing. You know,
you've simplified your life.
Well, have less and do more.
Yeah.
But I can pick up and go.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about it. And it was so funny because the other day I wasn't having a temper tantrum, but I was like going, ugh, I was like, well, because I was getting so wrapped up in work that the laundry wasn't getting done. And I was like, I need Rosie. Rosie was my girl. So I had somebody 3 days a week in Atlanta in my townhouse, 3 mornings a week. And I never picked up the iron, never did, because I'm not opposed to getting on my hands and knees and scrubbing the floor.
Yeah.
That this isn't about elitism.
Right.
This is about my time.
Right. What you value.
What I value. It took me a lot to let go of my household things. I'm Sicilian. This is what we do. But you know what? I gladly give that over so that I have more time to work, to serve clients, to go out and have fun,
to do the things you want to do,
to lay on the couch and watch Yellowstone. I mean, or go to the gym or to do whatever, whatever that means. And so I think people tend not to. They don't even want to spend money. They'll say, "Oh, I'm not going to go work with somebody like Steph." Well, why would I spend that money? It's ridiculous. Well, you know what? Your life then. Is your life ridiculous? Is happiness ridiculous? Is being aligned with your purpose and having less stress and enjoying your life? Your life is worth something.
Yeah.
It's worth a lot. And the more you do for yourself, whether it's getting help with somebody like me or a therapist or engaging in extreme self-care, a coach, going to see somebody like Dr. Kathy because she's going to give you better care than a regular hospital.
It's interesting because you're right.
And I just said that. I did. I said it.
I did not say that. We're very fortunate in Boston, all the medical care that we have, but the medical system's been changing a lot. So it's a matter of, what you value, investing in yourself, what's important to you as a patient. And so, no, I certainly agree with that. And it's hard. I'm a very cost conscious person too, but again, it's a matter of, are you worth spending or investing in yourself? It's not spending, it's investing, even if we're not talking about financial investing, but time, doing things for yourself, reaching out to friends, clergy, whatever that is, people really need to do that. And of course, post-COVID, everything's changed, and depression, suicide, let alone adults and children. We talk about it all the time.
I think the kids are wackadoodle.
They are really suffering.
I really do.
They're really
suffering. The kids are little cuckoo. That's they're really. It's just sad. They just don't have. It's just not normal. Yeah, it really isn't.
Well, what we went through in the whole pandemic was not normal. I just said it a couple of days ago. I remember moments thinking, "Oh my gosh, are we ever going to get out of this? Will we ever stop wearing masks?"
I know. You feel like we were in Logan's Run. You remember that movie, Logan's Run? They lived in a cat. They were
no.
Oh, it was a crazy 1970s movie.
No.
Yeah, they were in they lived in a bubble. And they couldn't go out, and they killed. It was just weird science.
We're going through that with COVID.
It was like Logan's Run.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm glad we're coming.
Well, you know what? If you're looking to invest in something, you can invest in my book, and let's let Jordan Rich tell you why.
This is the WBZ Book Club. I'm Jordan Rich. Came across a book by a local author that I love. It's called It's Not Personal, Sonny, It's Business. How to Run Your Family, Life, and Business Like a Sicilian. And the gal who wrote it is one. She's Steph Palermo. And if you're looking for simple, common sense wisdom that will transform your life for the better, this book is for you. She tells entertaining stories about being raised in a Sicilian family where old-fashioned values and responsibility take first place. She offers her own inspirational quotes in every chapter, such as this one that I love. Living happens during leisure. That's where the body is refreshed, the heart is moved, the spirit is lifted, and the mind expanded. It's about hard work, courage, loyalty, respect, and of course, good food. There's one chapter entitled Pass the Pasta. Terrific little book that you want to share with friends. It's not personal, Sonny, it's business. How to Run Your Family, Life, and Business Like a Sicilian by local author Steph Palermo. And that's the book club, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
Hey, I'm Ray Giudice, legal expert and commentator for 680 The Fan, occasionally HLN, The Nancy Grace Show. Join me once in a blue moon, but just Steph, every week on the Just Steph Show.
Thanks, guys. The source of all healing is love. Be healed daily by connecting to divine love. The healing segment of the Just Steph show is brought to you by Christine Murphy and Moi Health and Wellness, offering weight loss options with semaglutide and phentermine, women's health support for all menopausal symptoms, Botox and Dysport, vitamin injections, hair loss solutions, and much more. Christine has 2 convenient South Shore locations, one in Lakeville and one in Marshfield. For more information, check out Moi Health and Wellness at www.moi, health and wellness, that's and spelled out, wellness.com. Okay, I'm going to offer this up for all of you out there and for the families of those who lost loved ones in the marathon bombing some years back. Spirit, you are the source of love, healing, and restoration. We thank you for the miracles you still perform today. Tonight, bestow your grace on those listening who are in need of your healing. Bring peace, restoration, and full health to this audience and their loved ones. I believe in the healing power of faith and prayer, and I ask you to begin your mighty work in the lives of my audience. Let this year be a year filled with peace, laughter, health, and joy. Please reach down and surround my audience with supernatural peace and strength and give my audience the faith to believe that all things are possible for you, Spirit. Amen. And if you would like a healing in your life, email me at steph@juststeph.com. Hi, Larry.
I love books that give a real glimpse into a culture while also imparting life lessons. There's not many books like that.
Hi, Christine Murphy. Yes.
Stayed with me. It's called It's Not Personal, Sonny, It's Business by Steph Palermo. In this book, Steph combines the pillars of Sicilian heritage with her own life experiences into a book that's truly going to transform the way you think about life and the way you think about work. Stop postponing living your best, most satisfying life, and stop putting off thriving in your business. You can do both of those things right now. Just go to buystephsbook.com and order your copy today. You won't regret it. That's www.buystephsbook.com. See you there.
Things that make you go, All righty. Okay. So I don't know if you were here, if we were doing this, we added this segment, I think, after the last time you were here.
Okay.
So I come across things periodically, well, probably every day, where I just go,
Yes.
And I go, oh.
Things that make you go home.
So this is one thing I heard this week, and it was really amazing. I don't know if you had anything, because you can share if you heard something this week that made you go, you have to share.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to, but I'd like it. Well, how about when people get mad when people are sick? I heard this this week where somebody was being mistreated because they were really sick, like pneumonia, going to the doctor, ER, and was being mistreated because they were sick and couldn't live up to whatever the other person wanted. But I find that happens sometimes even in work environments. Like you're sick and you're feeling guilty because you can't
take care of yourself.
You can't do the work that they want you to do, and you're feeling guilty about all that. And I mean, I think people are a little bit more yielding because of COVID, and nobody wants to get sick, so they don't want you in the office. But the truth is there are still people out there that if you're not living up to their standards, if you're not feeling good, and this happened in my marriage when I was going through a really rough emotional time, when I was starting to recognize things in my life, and I think I shared this a couple of weeks ago with the trauma. I shared this on Jordan Rich's show. I was interviewed by Jordan Rich last week, and I lived in pretend land about my hand that I didn't have. I just didn't even know it was there that way. I just blocked it out mentally, and I started to deal with it in the therapist's office, and I spent some time on the bathroom floor, in the fetal position, just trying to get rid of whatever. And my ex-husband was just snap out of it. He was like, snap out of it. And I was sick. I was really not right. And I needed somebody to pick up the slack for me because I just couldn't, I was nuts. I was really, I had
Well,
lost
you
it.
need the support, right? And,
Right.
I say this with my daughters too. People can dismiss your feelings. Oh, you're being sensitive. Oh, don't be ridiculous. But as I tell them, even if you feel it, you hope that the other person's going to understand. Well, fine, you
Validate.
might not agree,
Right.
but if I'm feeling something, you can't argue that I'm not.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So that support. And
Oh, you shouldn't be
everything,
mad, or you shouldn't
Right.
be upset.
You're being overly sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Mhm.
So,
That
Mhm.
makes me go. Mhm.
Exactly. All right. So this is what's going on tonight. And I want to kind of preface this. Well, first of all, we have, of course, Dr. Kathy's going to be helping us all night long. And we're going to talk about her practice and all the things she has happening over there. It's a beautiful space. I love it.
I do too.
It's just so warm. I love it.
I was just at a meeting. We have this Society of Surgical Oncology meeting that happened this year in Boston. Actually, the American Society of Breast Surgeons meeting is also happening in Boston, as is American
Right.
College of Surgeons meeting. They're all in Boston this year.
There you go.
But a couple weeks ago, I bumped into a lot of my colleagues, of course, from, Dana Farber, the Brigham. And I made a comment. I'm like, when I go to work, I feel like I'm in my sanctuary.
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't feel that way.
Right. Well, because it's so warm
I know.
and
I
calm,
wanted
it's
that.
peaceful.
Yes.
It really has a really it has a healing energy.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what my priest said. I am Catholic, and I'd never done this before, but one of my friends, he's like, well, why don't you have your priest come out and bless your
Oh,
space?
absolutely.
And he did. And when he came in, he said, I feel like I'm in this spa. I have this immense sense of peace.
Right.
And I told him that's exactly what I wanted to create
Yeah.
for my patients. And again, it's not only women, it's men too. And whether it's my male patients or the husbands or significant others, they too say, like, do I have to leave? I really kind of want to stay here.
I know. You're amazing. And, and also I do want to say that Dr. Kathy is one of the sponsors of the Feminine Genius Workshop,
Yes.
Release the Queen.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have some great little stuff from the swag bags from Dr. Kathy, great
Woohoo.
tips and little prizes. So it's awesome. I actually got word today, and I should say this out loud. I should say this right now. I just got word that we're getting 5 $100 gift cards from Davio's.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
Steve. I was
That's
messaging with Steve
awesome.
today. Yeah, so that's
Thank you to Davio's.
I know. Thanks, Davio's.
Shout out.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop. So, but what I want to say before we get into the rest of the show is tonight, a little later on, I have an interview with Father Darren Merlino. And Father Darren's mission in life, his vocation is to bring Christ or bring peace or the message through media. And so he's out in LA and he makes movies and he does that. So he has Hound of Heaven series where he interviews celebrities who are Catholic and to talk about their Catholicism.
Wahlbergs.
Right, the Wahlbergs.
Sure.
Well, Mark Wahlberg's he's promoting the Rosary app. You know that?
No.
It's called Halo. It's a prayer app.
Oh, I have heard of that.
Yeah,
yes.
he's promoting that.
Yes.
So so it's okay if Mark Wahlberg does it. It's all right. Who doesn't love him? I love him.
I do.
Anyway, he's awesome.
I respect what he's doing too. Because
Yeah.
Have you heard about the show The Chosen?
I watched the whole 2 series.
My gosh.
Yeah, I watched.
I've been hearing about it for
I
years
watched
from
it.
patients, my OR staff, and I finally watched it, and it is absolutely
It's very good. And I actually talked to Father Darren about that a little, not in this interview, but off camera. So it was good. But my priest actually mentioned it at church too. So, but what I want to say about this, he is the theological consultant for the blockbuster thriller Nefarious that's out in theaters now, and they really want people to come because it's kind of got blindsided by some of the other openings. And it's a psychological thriller. It's about a man who is on death row for murder and is claiming that he's possessed by the devil, obviously. And they get an atheist psychologist trying to make sure that he's not insane. So because if he's insane, they can't execute him. So
Wow.
anyway, but it's
So
really
that's based on a true
it's
story.
right. Well, it's not a true
No.
story. No,
Okay.
it's not true at
Got
all.
it.
But
Okay.
it's kind of like a Screw Tape Letters story. And my whole point behind I want to preface this with this movie and the interview is not geared on making people think they need to be Catholic.
Mhm.
It's about getting you to think about life in general. And this movie brings up topics that should cause you to pause and think about it. And everything about the Just Steph show and everything that I do, if I call God, God, I don't really care what anyone else calls God, if they want to call spirit,
the universe,
whatever.
Right.
My job is to teach you how to love yourself, love others, love your life, enjoy life, and love the divine and be connected to that with whatever you choose to do.
Spirituality. Yeah.
That and so, but this interview it is from a Catholic perspective, and that's his mission.
Right.
It's his mission to evangelize.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's a great interview, and we actually play the trailer, so you'll get to listen to the trailer. It's scary. It's scary as hell. It is. Yeah. So, okay. And for your soul block today, we're going to talk about guilt, because that's what Maria wants me to talk about, Italian guilt. And for your social 411,
that's Polish too,
yeah,
by the way.
yes, right. The social 411, I think all the ethnic groups. Social 411, we're going to talk about a few places to go see the Kentucky Derby in a few weeks. And for your soul guidance, escaping versus moving on. What is it? What are you doing? Are you trying to run away? Or are you really moving into something that you love?
The next chapter.
Right. And then for the Just Steph rules of dating, it's treat her like a lady. Ooh. It's we're going to talk about how men should be behaving on dates, and they should be treating their queens like queens, and much more, of course. So call in to be part of the show today. Ask me, ask Dr. Kathy. Here we go. Call me anytime. Call me. All right. So yeah, call in 781-837-4900. Tell me what's going on in your life. I want to hear from you. And when we come back, your social 411 and Dr. Kathy. We are so behind. So, okay.
Time flies.
Hi, Frankie. How are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, Christine, you know what? You should have your spa blessed. And you know what? I went by one snow road today because I was in that area. I knocked on your door. You weren't there, but that's okay. I think we're going to have to cut this short. Okay. Yeah, we have to cut this short.
Time flies.
Yeah. Yes. Well, good. I'm going to go quick on the social for one. Mm-hmm. Guys don't care anyway. Who cares? Frankie and Bergamo, you need to join the St. Joseph's Club. You're from Riese. I don't know what's wrong with you. I love you though.
What's the St. Joseph's Club?
We belong to the St. Joseph Society in the North End. It's the traditions from my great grandfather was one of the founders.
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
When they came over from Sicily,
Yeah.
all the clubs in the North End are from some town in Sicily or Italy where it's their patron saint. So I belong to Madonna della Cava, which is Pietrezia in Sicily.
Okay.
And I belong to St. Joseph, which is Riese. But the other side of my family is from Shaka, and
Shaka?
Shaka, SCIACCA, Shaka.
Okay.
They're Shakadanis, and they are fishermen. And so the Fishermen's Club in the North End, but they don't have a ladies group, but I'm going to do more with them too this year. I love it.
That's awesome.
There's St. Anthony, St. Rocco, Santa Rosalia.
That's awesome.
Okay, Larry.
Founder and CEO of the Women of Boston Lingerie. At the Women of Boston Lingerie, they have a mission to help every woman feel beautiful and sexy, no matter what shape, size, or age. They offer private, full-service styling with bra sizing and boudoir photography right in their studio in Massachusetts. Check them out online at the Women of Boston Lingerie at www.thewomenofboston.com or give Maria a call at 617-953-4647. You know, Just Steph is all about living your best life, and feeling beautiful is definitely part of it. So check out the Women of Boston Lingerie and tell them Just Steph sent you.
I love the women of
Hey
Boston.
everyone, this is Just Steph, and I'm all about living your best life.
We have a Maria who wants to ask the doctor a
Have you
question.
heard about the
Okay.
Genesis Fit? It is a new fitness club and studio in Marshfield that offers personal training, small group training, nutritional
Tell her-
guidance, and
tell her 5
assisted
minutes.
stretching. The trainers
5
there
minutes.
understand that a healthy lifestyle
Tell her 5
is
minutes.
so much more than just losing weight. At the Genesis Fit, the trainers use data-driven coaching to design, challenge, and customize workouts that are personalized to you. And are you trying to figure out how you're going to squeeze a workout into your busy schedule? I get it. Well, listen to this. The Genesis Fit offers a 24/7 club access membership so you can tailor your workouts to your schedule.
Oh, come on with these commercials.
Set up a complimentary body composition analysis and fitness
We gotta go.
evaluation at
We got a lot to do.
339-793-8087
I love you all.
or visit them today at 1899 Ocean Street in Marshfield. Check out the Genesis Fit and tell them Just Steph sent you.
This is Deb Bowman, and you're listening to the Just Steph Show.
Thanks, Deb. I love you. You're beautiful. Your Social 411 is sponsored by Good Robe & Co., where their mission is to change women's lives by helping them to create timeless, effortless wardrobes that they can thrive in. Looking good has never been so easy. Shop today at goodrobeandco.com. Living happens during leisure. That's where the body is refreshed, the heart is moved, the spirit is lifted, and the mind expanded. You wanted to know where to go this weekend, and you've been waiting for your Social 411. Okay. All righty. Okay, real quick, because we're going to go through this. First of all, we're going to talk more about this in a few weeks because there's going to be more out there, but I do want to talk about Cinco de Mayo in a couple of weeks, but I didn't see anything out there yet. So it's not really
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, yes. But okay,
I've
here's
got a party.
You do? Oh, good. We'll go there. All right. So here's a few places where you can watch the Kentucky Derby in Boston. Boston Chops, that's on Washington Street in the South End. 5 Horses Tavern in Davis Square, Somerville. There's a lot of places in Somerville. The Cask and Flagon at Fenway. Old Magoon's Saloon in Magoon Square, Somerville. Society on High in downtown Boston. Sterling's on State Street in downtown Boston. And you can watch it in Fenway Park.
Really?
Yes. You can watch. You get $75 tickets, and you get complimentary hors d'oeuvres, wine, and whiskey cocktails, and Sam Adams beer. They have a silent auction, and with items like Patriots tickets and luxury hotel stays up for grabs.
Oh,
How fun is that?
that sounds fun.
Yeah, in Central Wharf Co. on Milk Street in downtown Boston, and Coppersmith right in South Boston. And we're going to have more about the Kentucky Derby and Cinco de Mayo in the upcoming weeks. We'll have where to go on the South Shore as well.
Awesome.
So don't worry about it. We're going to get you more information. You definitely want to hit some of my North End favorite restaurants: Nando, Assaggio, Il Panino. Monica's has a great brunch, and Solumaria for a great Sammy. Today, we went over to Venus 2 for lunch on our little break, and Mike was a great bartender. He was awesome. And Saturday night, we went to Cheever Tavern in Norwell. It was amazing. And Sonia was our bartender. Shout out to those great bartenders. They are awesome. And if you have a fun event at your biz, email me at steph@juststeph.com. All right. Do we have a caller, Larry? Okay, so Maria's on the line. Hi, Maria. I'm good. Do you have a question for Dr. Kathy?
Yes. Hi, Dr. Kathy. I recently moved to the Boston area, and I was just wondering about genetic testing.
So you're
I
looking,
have, like,
sorry, go ahead.
well, I was wondering, what would make me want to get it if I had, like, several people in my family that had cancer, or, is it something good to get just?
Great question. So thank you for the question, Maria. So welcome to Boston, by the
That's
way.
right.
So genetic testing. I will tell you that definitely having family histories of different cancers certainly begs the question, might there be something genetic in one's family? But what's interesting and what most people don't know is you don't necessarily have to have a family history either to get cancer. But what I've learned from the company that does my genetic testing is 97% of people actually that qualify to get genetic testing based on their own personal risk factors or family history or both actually meet criteria but never get tested. And it's just because we don't know. We don't know when we need it. So I always encourage patients, talk to your primary care providers, be your own self-advocate, and talk to them about where it can be done. Obviously, I do that. I do formal cancer risk assessment on patients, and in women, which is separate, also calculating, a woman's lifetime risk of breast cancer. So let's say someone might not need genetic testing, or if they get it and it's negative, it doesn't mean that a woman might not be at elevated risk of a breast cancer. So why is that important to find out? Because if someone is, there are additional things that we can do for additional screening in addition to your routine screening mammogram. So I'm very big on education and prevention. And when we do those types of assessments, increase screening, do genetic testing, it just empowers us to follow patients closely. And with that, I say knowledge is power, but only when we use it.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, it just seems like people younger and younger are getting breast cancer. Several people I know got breast cancer even late 20s, early 30s.
Yes.
So,
it's not common, but it certainly does happen. So, what I've learned is by the age of 25, we as adults should actually all have undergone a formal cancer risk assessment. I did not know that until I learned that in the last, year. But by the age of 25, it's something really important to talk to your primary care providers about. And if they don't do it, have them, reaching out, finding resources, people can go to my website, obviously, New England Breast and Wellness, anybreastandwellness.com to find out more information as well. And the genetic testing that I do in my office, we don't do any blood draws, but we're looking at 77 different cancer genes. So people often assume it's just breast cancer that I'm looking for, but it's colon, it's prostate, breast, melanoma, pancreatic, colon. So a lot of different things. So again, knowledge is power, but only when you use it.
yeah. Wow. Well, that's great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks for calling in. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we have Arena's on the phone.
Are getting healthy and feeling your best part of your 2023 goals? Me too. There are so many options out there, and it can be very confusing. Look no further. WATD Health and Wellness is your go-to for your semaglutide, which is all the
We have to cut everything out.
Botox and
That's all right.
for those fine lines and
gonna do a
B12
cell block?
lipoline injections.
I don't know if we're going to. No, we're probably not going to do the cell block. We just can't. We're not going to get there.
Right.
It's just we're going to go right into the call and let Dr. Kathy talk about it. People want to hear Dr. Kathy.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. It's all about Dr. Kathy tonight.
Every step of the way, provide excellent care care and treat you like family. And you know I'm all about family. For more information and for other current promotions, give them a call at 781-206-7631 or online at moihealthandwellness.com. That's MOIHEALTHANDWELLNESS.com.
Okay, so we have Arena on the phone. Hi, Arena. Yes, yes. How are you?
They're recommending mastectomy, and just the question is, should we consider reconstruction? And is reconstruction actually covered by insurance, or and does one really need reconstruction, and especially if the patient is older? Like I wonder what what her thoughts are about that, because this is like a big thing as a debate in our family right now.
Great question.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for the call, Arena. So in terms of reconstruction, I actually filmed a reel today that will be posted to my social media tomorrow. Questions to ask your breast surgeon. So sometimes patients can undergo what we call breast conservation, which is not undergoing a mastectomy. And that's an important conversation to be had with your breast surgeon. But in terms of mastectomy, when we talk about reconstruction, a lot of factors go into that decision making, obviously the health and well-being of the patient. And we work with plastic surgeons. So typically, breast cancer surgeons perform the mastectomy, plastic surgeons work on doing the reconstruction. But thanks to a law that, was created years ago, it's actually a federal mandate now that if patients, and it's not only women, it can be men too, who undergo mastectomies, if they require or if they choose to undergo reconstruction, that is actually covered by insurance. Whether or not a patient's a good candidate for reconstruction, because things to consider are, longer surgery times and whatnot. It really is a matter of looking at the whole patient, their general health and well-being, what their goals are. And it's really a team approach, being the patient, the plastic surgeon, and the breast surgeon. So it is an important conversation to have, but it really takes a whole team approach. But yes, it is covered by insurance. So that's the good news.
Thank you, Arena.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the call. Okay. All right. So, okay, Dr. Kathy, we're just moving right along into your segment. But of course, if you have more questions for Dr.
Yes.
Kathy, please call. The number is 781-837-4900. And of course, she's here for a little bit longer, and we'll answer your questions, even if it means we forego all the other topics, because this is why you're here.
Yes.
You know what? It's important information.
It is.
And you know what?
It
I
is.
can always talk about it next week.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things, so many topics. And I actually want to hear, prior to me opening up my own private practice, I was never really involved in social media, but I want people to ask questions. I want to empower individuals. I'm a big believer in what we refer to in medicine as shared decision making, meaning that I feel, in my opinion, as a physician, my job is to educate patients, educate them if they have options, but to educate them. And then, patients that's for them to make a well-informed decision for themselves. And not everyone will necessarily make the same decision. Actually, literally, on my way here in the car, I was talking to one of my closest friends. She's also a breast surgeon. She was in Boston. Now she's down in Miami. And we were talking about how we can make recommendations. And sometimes patients may not agree with that. So we want to support patients. But there's so much to know, whether it's about breast cancer. Obviously, I'm a breast cancer surgeon. But even things, people think that that's all I see patients for. But even atypical breast biopsies. What should we do? Patients come see me for opinions about, do they really need a needle biopsy? What is a core needle biopsy? What patients need MRIs? There's so many different topics that we could cover.
And it says in your bio, it talks about breast disease. Is there other diseases of the breast besides cancer?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. I mean, like I said, I just named one. thing what we call atypical cells. So atypical cells, I explain to my patients that they're not completely normal cells. They're not cancer cells. They're somewhere in between. So a lot of people have heard about atypical like skin lesions, right? So
Right.
same kind of idea. So at least in the breast world, so if a patient has an atypical needle biopsy based on, a biopsy that a radiologist did, then that patient sees a breast surgeon because we talk about surgically removing that area to see and make sure that there is in fact no cancer in that
Right.
area. So atypical breast biopsies, sometimes patients can have completely benign breast lumps, but they're hormonally responsive, what we call fibroadenomas. And if they grow over time, get bigger, uncomfortable, what we say symptomatic, meaning patients are having symptoms from it. Those are also instances
And
where
so you do that as well.
I do all of that.
Right.
As I was saying to someone over the weekend, I am a non-cosmetic breast surgeon.
Right.
So anything non-cosmetic, or even in males, like something people may have heard about, your listeners, gynecomastia, which is enlargement of breast tissue in males. That can be really uncomfortable, painful, even sometimes so different on two sides where
Right.
males will, need to get that removed or choose to get that removed. That too is, what we do as well as breast surgeons. Sometimes the preventative surgery, like the Angelina Jolie, she had a BRCA mutation,
Right.
increased risk for breast cancer. She didn't have a cancer diagnosis, but she elected to undergo preventative, or what we say prophylactic mastectomy. Right. So breast surgeons do all that. We're basically evaluating and treating breast health concerns.
So what is the when you are proactive, if you find out you have the BRCA
Yes,
gene,
that's one of many.
Right, one of many.
Yes.
And you decide to do the what are the
You
chances?
don't have to,
I know, but if you do,
yes,
ha-
you
the
lower your chances of
by
developing.
like how much?
I mean, depending on the data, 97%. I mean, it's never 100%.
Right.
It's never 100%.
Because there's something
You can't-
little
well,
T
you can't-
cells.
Well, even with mastectomies, when we perform them for breast cancer, as the surgeon, we remove the breast tissue, but we can't, for example, scrape every single normal breast cell from the skin or
Right.
whatnot in surgery. So there's that small chance of a recurrence because there's that small rim of normal breast tissue under the skin on the
Right.
chest wall muscle. But no, it certainly lowers it greatly.
But like
and
97%, that's or 98,
yeah,
95.
Right, exactly.
That's huge.
Exactly.
I'll take 75.
It is. But the important thing for people to know, a couple things. Nothing is ever 100%, but what's important, because I actually, when Liz was, I think, your co-host the very first time I came on the show, and Liz was like, well, I'd rather not know. And it's a little scary. But what patients don't realize is even if you have a gene, it doesn't mean you're 100% going to get that cancer.
Right.
And for breast, it doesn't mean that if you have the gene, you have to have surgery and have to have a mastectomy. It doesn't. But then we can employ other techniques to help increase screening. I have a male, in my practice who has the breast cancer gene. He was diagnosed and treated for prostate cancer. We find out he has the breast cancer gene. So I'm following him closely for breast cancer.
Right.
I sent him to the GI doctor for a pancreatic cancer screening, and then sent him to the dermatologist for melanoma screening. So it's about being proactive, not reactive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, and in the world that I'm in, your environment can trigger your genetics.
There's so many things.
So yeah, you might be genetically predisposed to whatever.
Correct.
High cholesterol, high blood pressure, but how you live, what you have in your environment, your mindset, your stress
physical
level,
activity, diet, exercise. I have to share actually with your listeners, because this I was blown away by when I learned this fact a month ago. So I'm on a board called the Maple Tree Cancer Alliance, Exercise Oncology, which has not really been in the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically how exercise is incorporated into cancer oncology and the benefits of it. And I was listening to a lecture, someone from Australia who stated, and this is not only for breast cancer, this is for many different types of cancers, where when patients exercise, you can lower your risk of recurrence of cancer by 30%.
There you go.
That's huge.
Good enough for me.
That's huge.
I got to get back.
Yeah.
I have to get back.
It's really important.
Yes. No, I know.
Mental health,
I know.
cancer, cardiovascular disease, a lot of different things. And actually, in another lecture, they talked about how exercise can be more effective than antidepressant medication for mental health.
Absolutely. Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's why I love boxing. You get to hit the bag. So we have Sue is on the line. Hi, Sue. Hi. Do you have a question for Dr. Kathy?
That is a great question. So first of all, depending on the details and when, patients were diagnosed with cancer, first of all, it's really important in terms of cancer risk assessment. Is there any indication or rule for potential genetic testing? In males for breast cancer screening, really what self breast exams, clinical breast exams done by primary care providers is also very important, because of course, typically men still do have breast cancer, but a lot less than women. A lot of my male patients who I've treated, for breast cancer in the past, they found these lumps on exam. So it's important to know the family history, because again, it is any male breast cancer in a family history is automatic need for genetic testing, because male breast cancers can be related to the BRCA2 mutation, as we call it, which then again, that is also linked to pancreatic cancer, prostate cancer, and pancreatic cancer, yes, as well, and the melanomas too. That's what I was forgetting. So really important, for that screening, self-breast exams, primary care exams as well. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Thank you for calling.
And that's something, and thankfully Sue brought that up. We so often think of breast cancer in women, but males do get breast cancer, not as often as women, but we have to be aware of breast cancer does occur in males as well.
That's right. You would never think that, but it is what it is. And so we are getting ready to shut down for the first hour. We're going to come back, but so why don't we tell people how they can find you, and then you'll be back in the next hour for a few minutes.
So again, New England Breast and Wellness, anybreastandwellness.com. A lot of information on my website. I'm now on social media as well.
That's
Instagram,
right.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. So Any Breast and Wellness, or again, if you just Google New England Breast and Wellness, you will be able to find me.
I love it. You're on Facebook, Instagram. You're doing all those reels on Instagram. I love it.
I'm trying to, again.
Are you doing TikTok?
Yeah, well, we're trying to push that over to TikTok again, because with these reels, I'm really trying to educate people. So trying to share it across all the different platforms.
Do we have a call? Okay, we have Judy's on the line. Hi, Judy.
Oh, that's a great question, Judy. So legally, actually, insurance companies are not allowed to hold that against patients. So you cannot lose your health insurance because of it. So again, there's no action that they can take if you have a positive genetic test. And speaking with the genetics company that does the genetic testing, the only thing sometimes that patients may want to consider is that life insurance can potentially be impacted. So if that's something, if you don't have established something people are considering about getting, then potentially doing that first before doing any genetic testing might be prudent. But otherwise, it is actually illegal, not to cover patients that have a genetic predisposition or a genetic mutation. So thank you for that question.
Yeah, the life insurance is that. Thank you for inserting that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, Judy. Okay, take care. And we're gonna take a little bit little bit of a break over the hour. And when we come back, more Dr. Kathy. We have Father Darren Merlino and the Just Steph Rules of Dating. I kept forgetting people. The people on the Facebook can't hear the call unless I put the volume up.
Oh.
Okay, everybody. Hi. You know what? Okay, Dr. Kathy is like by far like the most popular. It doesn't matter. Like, oh hey, if I gave away free stuff, nobody would call. That's great.
It's crazy because again, being new to social media today, I was looking one of my videos that I posted about 3 ways to lose weight without exercising on Facebook, 21,000 views. Yeah. But again, I'm eager to educate. You know that about me.
Yes,
You
but that's
do.
great.
You know that
Yeah, but
about
you know
me.
what? Everybody is into the health. It's very important.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So it's
the
really
whole
good.
exercise piece.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
and there are medications that decrease recurrence by 50%. You're saying exercise does 30%.
There you go. You don't have
That's
to go in
huge.
with no side effects.
It's huge.
There you go. Okay, so when we come back, we'll try and do the soul reading. We're gonna have you pull an energy card, and we'll talk. You know what? I think I said the wrong topic, but we're gonna talk about spiritual direction.
That's okay.
And I want to talk quickly about the workshop.
Yes.
That's coming up. And but if somebody calls, that their callers
Okay,
first.
yeah.
So that's it. How's everybody doing out there in Facebook land? I love you all for watching. Thank you.
What is this?
That's a Tau cross. And it was it came from Medjugorje.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have my rosary in my car that's hanging on my rearview mirror. A patient gifted me. It's from Medjugorje.
So Christine Murphy is the official nurse of the Just Stuff show.
Oh.
She does all the weight loss stuff and
Yes.
shots. She gave me my
Yes.
B12 shot and got me out of my illness.
Oh, awesome.
Thank God. She came up here like a bat out of hell.
Awesome.
She came over and she's like, you need a B12 shot and a vitamin D shot.
Did you feel the difference?
Oh my gosh, totally. I mean, it was
Wow.
great. And anyway, so she said good information because she's watching.
Awesome.
She's one of our sponsors as well.
Thank
and
you.
And Christine's going to be sponsoring the workshop as well. She's attending, so I'm excited.
I wish I could go. I told you.
Yeah, that's your
American
weekend.
Society of Breast Surgeons is happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And no, I know that. But I'm excited because a lot of the sponsors are coming, and so I'll be able to introduce them to people at the end.
Yes.
So
in person.
Yes. So they get to, if they're interested in what anybody's doing, at least
right.
people can chat with them and know that.
Exactly. I know. I'm so bummed I can't go.
I know. It's gonna be a great topic.
I know.
I'm so excited. I haven't really been out like talking like in public like that in so long.
Yeah.
And I really miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I just learned the other day that the mask mandate in medical facilities is ending next month.
Oh,
2 weeks.
I know. I don't wear it.
Yeah.
I don't wear it.
I know.
I don't. I'm terrible. Oh, are we on? Where are we? Okay. Oh no, we're not. Okay. I'm like, are we on?
Where's this one from?
I had that. I don't know where it's from. I had it, and I just can't I don't like. Where is?
Yes.
I just love it.
Yep.
So yeah, but this Father Michael gave this to us. He gave one to me and Jimmy. He's our pastor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Tau cross. Him, Father Michael Della Penna, and Father Ricky Martinetti went to Medjugorje when they were kids. They were 21 and 22 years old, and they came back and then went into the priesthood.
Get out.
Yeah, and sweet.
That's amazing.
Sweet, like really the good boys. Really nice and real.
That's awesome.
Let me see. This is a good Patriots Day for the runners.
Oh, the runners. Oh my gosh. No question. I know people who are running today. And Saturday we were at a lacrosse game for our daughters, and the dad who ran today, I was like, thank goodness we looked at the forecast. It was going to be cool and rainy. Perfect.
I know it's not good for the spectators, but
no, I know, but it's great for the runners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Christine.
Boston Lingerie, and you are listening to the Just Steph Show.
Okay, we are back. Your soul is restless until you live your purpose. And here is this week's soul guidance. Okay. All right. So we're going to pick a divine energy card and we're just going to move along. And if anybody calls in for Dr. Kathy, we'll.
All right. Pick one.
Yes.
Let's see, get in the middle there. All right.
You read it.
Let go and enjoy.
There you go. That's
Like
awesome. Yeah. That's it. Let go and enjoy. And you know what? I mean, I think it's so funny because you know, we come off of Easter season for believers, if you're a believer and you kind of walk that path. And here's the thing, even if you don't believe that Jesus is God, you know, that he's God wrapped in skin, even if you don't believe it, to watch the torture of any human being at that level is very it's upsetting. It's upsetting. And it makes you think, you know what? Let's enjoy. Let's enjoy our lives. Enjoy. And we know, you know, people spend a lot of time worrying, and
worrying gets you nowhere. I just said this the other day,
and
because I heard it in, I don't know if it was
it's wasted energy.
Oh my gosh,
it's wasted.
It really does nothing for us. I do it, of course. I worry, but I have to stop myself. But it really doesn't get us anywhere.
You know, and I had a girlfriend said something about worry, and I go, I don't worry. She goes, I know you don't, because the Italians, they love to worry. I go, yeah, I don't worry. I really don't. You can ask. I know. I don't worry. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just don't worry.
Don't let God.
I mean, I could. I think if I put my mindset there.
Yeah.
You know, but
was it always that way for you, or did it take work to get there?
It took me work to get there. But yeah, I was
just
worried.
For your listeners,
I used to worry about my kids being sick and, you know, and all that stuff. And yeah, I did worry, but I don't worry anymore. I don't worry.
That's a gift.
So, you know, and I'm just too busy to worry, I think. And, you know, and I am going to come back next week and talk about guilt, because that was a big deal. I know Maria had asked about the Italian guilt, and I do want to talk about guilt as a topic because it's important with the soul block. But today I want to talk quickly about spiritual direction. And I actually am a spiritual director. I offered spiritual direction when I was in Atlanta many years ago, and it's part of what I do in my work today. And what is spiritual direction? Is it therapy? Is it coach? No, it's none of that. What it is helping you to, you'll see with the help and the guidance of the spiritual director, your path and your relationship to spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, and using that and connecting to it and getting help discerning, is this a message? Is this something I should do? Do I hear this? What is it? And I'm going to give you a little tip. 2 or 3 times you hear something is confirmation from God.
I call that a God poke.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's 2 or 3, you know. So if you hear something a few times, you hear it at like different places, and I don't know how many times you'll say, oh my gosh, somebody just told me this.
Yep.
I just heard that. I'll say to somebody, you know, I really think this is the work you ought to do. And they'll say, oh my gosh, my mom just said that to me, or somebody was telling me that, you know, and that's the confirmation. That's what you know. And so, and you have to have a discerning ear. And I happen to have a very strong gift of discernment of spirit. You know, I've been through the charismatic training. So that's one of the gifts that I bring into working with clients, because I do have a gift of discernment. I know, I you know, when you say, you know, I have the gift of knowledge, in the sense, not book smart, but I know things. You know, like I'll know, and that's what helps with spiritual direction. Now, not all spiritual directors have all the gifts, but everybody is different. But the thing is, you can go to a priest, or you can go to if you're a Christian,
coach, yeah.
or you. Okay,
Or to
I'm
a
not.
rabbi.
Yes, a
Mhm.
rabbi,
Right.
a pastor,
Yeah.
and there are also lay people like me that offer spiritual direction. You know, it's part of what I do, and it's not a bad thing to do if you're looking for some depth in your life. If you say, "What do I have? Is there more? What is we're coming here, you know, at the
It's a connection.
it is a connection.
Yeah.
It is. And you know, I hate to say this because you know the Italians are like, my grandma's like, I pray every day God will take me. And you know, my and I would go, oh my gosh, does she know where she's going? And so my mother's on this kick now. She goes, well, you don't know how many Christmases I have left. And I was like, oh mom, right? So we gotta talk. But the truth is when you get to a certain age and you're going, okay, even if I have 40 years left, 55 are gone, 56 are gone. What's the next?
You want to make them count.
You want to make them count, but what's on the other side of the veil?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you this is the deal. Either you align in this life or you're going to align in the next. If you align in the next life, it's not going to feel so good. It's not going to be, it's not, I'm not saying it's hell. I'm saying there's an deeper understanding of the universal laws and God, the universe. And there's a sadness there that you missed out on this side of the veil. You know, you'll understand better. So it's clearer. Here we suffer, you know, if we're as we align, there's suffering there because we just don't want to give things up, or we're hanging on to toxic people and thought processes. But if we do it now and we enjoy our lives, that's what we take with us.
Yeah.
None of the low frequency vibration emotions are welcome or are available or in paradise on the other side. You can call it heaven, being connected, being, you know, I don't know, whatever people call it, the other side, you know. And so you've got to let that stuff go. The not forgiving, holding grudges, jealousy, anger, all of these things, you know, you have, especially Italians are like, oh, this one did this or that one did that to me 100 years ago. And here's the deal. You can't take that with you.
You don't want to take it.
Well, if you take it with you, then you have to shed it on the other side.
You don't want to take it with you.
I'm just saying, if you want to be with the pure, divine, infinite love, you have to be infinite love. So it's either get there now, you know, work on it now.
Work on it. Yeah.
Or you're going to have to do it on the other side.
Yep.
And that's what a spiritual director will help you with. Getting things in order. But also so you can enjoy your life and have less stress and release all that stuff that doesn't serve you.
Well, talking about holding grudges and everything, that was a conversation that I had with someone too the other day. I heard it once in a homily where the priest said, when you forgive someone, you're actually not gifting them. You're gifting yourself.
Well, you're releasing. Yeah. You're releasing they don't have a hold on you.
Yeah.
They don't have the power over you.
But people think like, oh, I can't forgive the person for what they did. You're not doing them a favor.
They don't even care. They don't even know.
You're doing yourself the favor by letting go of that.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And you know, we have a couple of minutes. So I do want to talk, of course, if you want a soul reading or if you want spiritual direction, you want to learn how to be connected, you want to get on the right path, you definitely need to email me at steph@juststeph.com. I'm looking for 5 people that really want to change their lives. And that's all I'm taking. But I would love to have a chance to even chat with you on the phone and see if this is something that would be in your wheelhouse. Because, you know, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk about the workshop. So it's Saturday, April 29th. I have amazing sponsors. Jennifer from Good Robe & Co., Dr. Kathy, Christine from War Health and Wellness, Maria Paula from the Women of Boston Lingerie. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some underwear. We have Julie Grimm is giving free crystal readings. You're going to get a coupon. We have 5 $100 gift cards from Davio's, thanks to Steve DiFilippo. What else do we have? I know Jackie Zuck from Next on Scene Magazine, Quotable Media is giving some. Oh, and Kim Conan is giving everybody $500 off a photo shoot for headshots or a branding session. So, I mean, that's really awesome. And Taryn Dempsey from Serena Skin Studio is giving us a big beauty basket. And I'm going to give out, it's going to be raffles, but you don't have to pay for the raffles. I'm going to give people tickets when they
register.
When they come in, everyone's going to get one ticket, but then I'm going to do little things where, like, you know, get people when they answer questions, like, oh, you get an extra ticket. Oh, you get an extra, you know, we're going to do some fun things. It's brunch and the workshop. And then at 3:30, I'll introduce my sponsors who are there, who can come. And I forgot, Andrea Bates is from Voya Financial. She gave us makeup mirrors. So cute. Yes, so she's another sponsor. But and then I'm going to introduce the sponsors, and then we'd have a wine and cheese reception for like a half an hour, so people can get to talk and mingle and have some fun. But we're going to have fun because I like to keep it interactive. And so the topic is the feminine genius, release the queen. And we're going to talk about some ancient texts that, you know, the writings of the ancients and what they said about women and what they knew that really got ignored. And it's really amazing stuff. And we're going to talk about the difference between men and women and how to release that queen within and really live it out without losing that feminine, you know, tapping into that feminine genius without stopping being a girl.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to talk all about that.
Keeping your femininity.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. So where are we? Okay. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, Father Darren Molino, and of course, the Just Steph rules of dating. Okay. So I want to tell you, everybody on Facebook, the rest of the show is going to be on the radio, audio only, because it's all been pre-recorded. But you can watch Father Darren on my Facebook page or on Get Real with Just Steph. You can watch that interview if you want to go there. But I really would ask that you know, if you want to tune in, you want to go to 95.9 FM. If you want to go to WATD.com, you can click listen now, and you can listen to the rest on the internet. So I ask you to please listen to Father Darren's interview. I really want to help him. He's really doing such really great work. And so I ask you to please tune into that. And I will see you next week, and we'll definitely talk, talk about guilt and everything. And thank you to Dr. Kathy. Just want you to know at the end, I thank you. I did it. Awesome. I did it.
That's okay.
So thank you for tuning in. I love you. Ciao, ciao.